Good morning, dear students, and welcome to this session. In this particular session, we are going to continue with our discussion of the play The Tempest, Act 1, Scene 2. And today in this class, we are going to discuss from line number 198 to line number 240. But before we begin with today's class, let us recapitulate what we have done so far. So in the last class, we saw that having listened to the story of Prospero, Miranda expressed her desire to know how they managed to reach the shore. At this, Prospero tells Miranda that they managed to reach the shore because of the grace of God. They had some food with them and some fresh water, which was supplied to them by a noble Neapolitan named as Gonzalo, who was appointed to execute the whole plan. Gonzalo not only supplied with them with food and fresh water, but he also gave them costly clothes, linens, goods, and essential commodities, which have been of some use to them since the time they left the dukedom. And in the same way, out of kindness, Gonzalo was aware that Prospero loved his books more than his dukedom. Therefore, he supplied Prospero with some books from his library. And Miranda, having got to know about this noble Neapolitan, she asked her father whether she would ever get an opportunity to see that man or not. Now, till here we did in the last class, and today we are going to begin hereafter. So, Prospero, at the question of Miranda that whether she would be able to ever meet that person or not, Prospero replied. He says, "Now I arise." He resumes his mantle. We must remember that when Prospero was going to narrate the story of his past life to Miranda, he had opened his magical ropes and kept aside because he wanted to speak with Miranda like a father. But now he again wants to take up the role of a magician. So therefore he wears his robe, his magical dress. Sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princes can, that have more time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful. So here Prospero tells Miranda to sit still and listen to the end of their suffering, to the end of the story of their suffering. Prospero informs Miranda that they landed on the island, and having landed on that island, Prospero has taken up the role of a teacher to Miranda. He has acted as Miranda's teacher because he has taught her more than what is taught to other princes who waste their time in useless occupations, as well as in tutors who are not competent. So these princes, the other princes, are not able to benefit much from their schooling, from their education, because their tutors are not competent. However, Portia however, Miranda has benefited herself more than those other princes, because in her case, her father herself had taken up the role of a teacher, of a tutor, and thereby he taught her more than what was taught to other princes. Then Miranda, heaven thanks you for it. And now I pray you, sir, for still it is beating in my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm. So, heaven thanks you for it. What does Miranda mean to say here? She means to say here that may God reward Prospero for what he had done for his daughter Miranda. May he be rewarded for acting as a teacher to Miranda and ensuring that Miranda learns more than the other princes. And then she goes on to request Prospero that why had he caused the storm. So the thought was still troubling her mind that she wanted to know the reason for raising that sea storm. She wanted to know the reason behind Prospero raising that sea storm. Now let us see that what reason does Prospero give to Miranda for raising that sea storm. He says, "No, thus far forth, by accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now my dear lady, hath my enemies brought to this shore." Bountiful here means generous, and you know fortune refers to the goddess of fortune. So here Prospero tells Miranda that by a strange accident, generous fortune, who at the present moment proved to be favorable to Prospero. That is what Prospero meant to say by the line, "Now my dear lady." So fortune proved to be favorable to Prospero, and that goddess of fortune has brought the enemies of Prospero to that island. So it is the goddess of fortune who by some strange accident has brought Prospero's enemies to that particular island. "And by my prescience I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star." Here prescience means knowledge of events before they could happen. That is foreknowledge. And zenith, you know, the highest point. Auspicious star refers to the favorable star, especially the birth star of a person. Now it was believed that a man's character and fortune were influenced by stars, particularly his birth star. So here Prospero means to say that at that particular moment the conditions were so favorable to him that it appeared to him that his most auspicious star was at the highest point. That means what? His luck was favoring him and he could foresee. So he has a foresight that if he is not able to take advantage of his fortunes at the present moment, then it is quite possible that he may never get an opportunity further in his life. So his fortune will sink to the lowest. It will droop. Okay. So here Prospero, in other words, means to say that he feels that his fortune is very favorable to him at that particular moment. It appears to him that his auspicious star is at the highest point in the sky, which denotes that the conditions were favorable to Prospero, and he is of the mind. He has the foreknowledge that if he is not able to avail himself of those favorable conditions, then his fortune may droop. It may sink to its lowest, and he may never ever get an opportunity in his life to take revenge against his enemies. So, and having said this, he says here, cease more questions. Cease more questions means stop asking any further questions. So he addresses these words to Miranda and tells Miranda not to ask any further questions, and he makes use of his magic in order to make Miranda fall asleep. So he says, thou art inclined to sleep. You are falling sleepy. And sleep, it is a good dullness, and give it way. It is good dullness means that is a good sleepiness, and therefore Miranda must yield to that sleepiness, must succumb to that sleepiness. In other words, we can say that he asks Miranda to go to sleep, and moreover Miranda has no other choice. I know thou canst not choose. Even if Miranda wishes to remain awake, she cannot. She cannot. Why? Because this sleepiness is brought upon Miranda by the magical power of Prospero. So therefore, he makes Miranda fall asleep. Why? Because he wanted to summon Ariel, his chief airy spirit. Okay. And he did not want Miranda to know about those spirits. So when Miranda falls asleep, Prospero says, come away, servant, come. I am ready now. Approach my Ariel, come. Okay, so he addresses, you see, approach my Ariel, come away, servant, come. I am ready now. He is ready to address to Ariel, and therefore he invites Ariel into the scene, and just then Ariel enters. Okay. Now later on we will be discussing about the character of Ariel, but now you try to understand the text. Now when Ariel makes his entry on the stage, Ariel says, all hail, great master, grave sir, hail, I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds. To thy strong bidding task, Ariel and all his quality. So he greets Prospero, and he addresses Prospero as great master, as respected sir, and then he tells Prospero that he has come on the command of Prospero to do whatever pleases his master the best, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, or to ride on the uneven clouds. So all the activities that Ariel could perform is something related with the wind. It can swim, it can dive, okay, it can dive into the fire, it can fly, it can ride on the uneven clouds, and he is ready to carry out any strong or powerful command of Prospero. So all the companions, associates of Ariel are at the disposal of Prospero's service, and they are ready to follow the commands of Prospero in all obedience. So you see, that means what? Ariel is the chief spirit of Prospero. So it is through Ariel that Prospero exercises a control over the different spirits, the spirit of water, the spirit of air, earth, okay, so all those other spirits, and Ariel was chief among them. And what do we come to know about Ariel here? That Ariel is a generous spirit who is very obedient to its master, and it is ready to carry out any command of Prospero. It is ready to carry out any task as commanded by Prospero, and he is ready to do so in all obedience. So he is very obedient spirit. Now Prospero enquires of Ariel, "Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?" So Prospero inquires of Ariel that if Ariel have executed in every detail the storm that Prospero had commanded him to carry out. Have you done it? Have you carried out precisely to the point? To the point means precisely, exactly in the way that you had been asked to do. So we find here that Prospero had brought that storm in the sea with the help of the chief airy spirit, that is Ariel. And Ariel replies to every article. To every article means he has carried out the storm following exactly the orders of Prospero, and he had taken care of following the command of Prospero to the minutest detail. So he has carried out the storm in every detail as commanded by Prospero. Now what did Ariel do? Now we get an idea of the situation of the on board on that ship, and why the mariners and the other passengers on board on that ship were panicking. As far now we know that only it was because of the storm. No, there were some supernatural elements also that occurred on board on that ship, and these supernatural elements were brought about by Ariel on board on that ship. So Ariel says, "I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement." So Ariel informs Prospero that he boarded the king's ship, he boarded the royal ship in the shape of a flame. At one moment he appeared on the bow of the ship, next moment he would move to the waist of the ship, and then to the deck, and even he entered into the cabin of these royal passengers. So that creating fright in the passengers. So the passengers even more scared, even more frightened, because they were unable to comprehend this strange phenomena. So suddenly they saw their ship in fire. Okay, they were surprised, in amazement. Okay, they were wonderstruck. Why? Because they saw flame on the bow of the ship at one moment, on the other moment on the waist of the ship, and then on the deck, and also in cabins. Sometimes I would divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards and bowsprit would I flame distinctly, then meet and join. You see what Ariel did to create amazement, fright among the passengers. Sometimes he divided himself into several flames and burned at several places simultaneously. That is, he will burn at the topmost mast, on the yards, on the bowsprit, and then all of a sudden it would combine into one single flame, okay, thereby causing much amazement or wonder among the passengers. Jove's lightnings, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning, were not. So Jove, here a reference is made to Jove's lightning. Jove or Jupiter is the supreme god of Roman mythology, and his chief weapon was the thunderbolt and lightning. And this Jupiter's lightning is the precursors. Precursors means they are the harbingers. They are the harbingers of dreadful thunderclaps more momentary. So here Ariel means to say that even Jove's lightnings, which are seen before he hurls the dreadful thunderbolts, even those lightnings are not so swift as Ariel was in his movements. So the flashes of lightning and the roars of thunder that Ariel produced besieged the most powerful Neptune to shake his powerful waves and even to shake his frightening trident. So here Neptune refers to the god of sea. It refers to the god of the sea, and the chief weapon of Neptune was the trident. And Ariel means to say here that the flashes of lightning and the roars of thunder that he produced besieged, it captured even the most powerful Neptune, that is the god of sea, and made the sea to shake its powerful waves and even to shake his frightening trident, that is the three-pronged weapon. So, and sight outrunning were not. Of the dreadful thunderclaps more momentary, and sight outrunning not. So, sight outrunning means they were not more sudden and startling to the sight as that of the flashes of lightning and the roars of thunder that were created by Ariel. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seems to besiege. So the flashes of lightning and the roar of the thunder that was created by Ariel, that seemed to capture even the god of sea, that is Neptune. And it made even the waves of the sea to shake, to tremble, as if Ariel was shaking the frightened trident of Neptune, that is three-pronged weapon of Neptune. Then Prospero is very pleased to listen to the minute details that is provided by Ariel, how he caused amazement among the passengers, how he raised the storm in the sea, and how the passengers trusted the waves of the sea. So Prospero is being very pleased. He expresses his gratitude to Ariel and even applauds Ariel. He says, "My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infest his reason." So he addresses Ariel as his brave spirit, and then he inquires of Ariel that was there any person among those people on board on that ship who was so composed and so steady that his turmoil could not affect his reasoning. So you see, there was great disturbance, there was great turbulence, great turmoil created on the sea, that is on board on that ship. And Prospero asked Ariel that was there any person on board on that ship who was not disturbed, who did not lose his reasoning ability even during this situation. So was there anyone who was so composed and so steady that the turmoil, the confusion could not affect his reasoning? Obviously, as readers, we know that there was one, and that is Gonzalo. So anyway, we'll continue from here in the next class. So if any doubt, you can ask me. And so we wind up the class for today. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Please do not forget to subscribe my channel and like my video. Thank you and stay blessed.